Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. These are going to be Saturn retrograde messages for my dearest Capricorns. Capricorn, Saturn is retrograding on May 23rd, and the next 4.5 months we're set to experience an intensification of karmic lessons and dealing with the past. So Capricorns, you guys are ruled by Saturn, so you're going to feel this really heavily. So sometimes our current situation or challenge is kept on a loop because of unresolved past issues and karma. So in essence, karma is the re-experiencing of an unhealed trauma over and over again. Abandonment fears, running cycles, and separation issues are nearly always rooted in childhood or past life karma. These negative energy blocks could be holding you back from twin flame union or calling in or reuniting with your true soulmate or divine counterpart. Running or separation cycles are a clear indication of karma at work. So when we experience repeating cycles, we need to look at the deeper causes to end running and separation permanently. So whether you're currently dealing with a karmic soulmate, which many of us have been led to believe are bad or that we need to stay away from them, the truth is we need them to heal and resolve karma if we ever want to come into union with our divine counterpart. Or if you're experiencing karma on a karmic loop with your twin flame. So this reading is going to look at what's happening now, the overall energy of your situation, how you can move through it with grace and ease, what you're learning, the lessons that you're learning or have learned, what you're leaving behind, so the karma that you're releasing. What's on its way as a result of this, and what's your medicine for the moment. All right, my dear Capricorns, I have been called to tell you that you should be checking your North Node. These messages are going to resonate most profoundly with you. You can check your North Node by getting your birth chart online, but you do need to have your birth time, okay? And you can just Google that and find that out if you don't know or have that information already. If you don't have that information, feel free to check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Jupiter signs. Whichever messages you're called to are the ones that you're meant to hear. Also, I'm a Reiki master and I'm an energy healer. So at the end of this reading, I'm going to do a small prayer, healing, activation, incantation. So if you want to stick with me for that, you certainly can. All right, my dear Capricorns, let's jump into this. Ooh, Six of Swords, moving forward, peace of mind. Let's see what's happening here for Saturn in retrograde. Now, Capricorn, as I'm doing this reading, I'm just going to ask that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, take a moment to check out the description box for ways you can get a private reading, or if you like the cards that I'm using, I have them listed and linked in order of appearance. Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Cappies, let's go ahead and see what is going on. Well, you get the Knight of Wands, an energy of commitment or non-committal, 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. Could be you, could be your person. Overall energy, please, for my Capricorns. Page of Cups in reverse, okay. How you can move through it with grace and ease. Beautiful. Some of you are dealing with a Libra or have Libra in your chart. Karmic justice. Ooh, what are you learning? Queen of Wands in reverse. Some of you guys are dealing with a fire sign. What you're leaving behind. The Nine of Pentacles. What's on its way. Healing with the Five of Cups. And what's your medicine? Oh, High Priestess energy. Pisces, Cancer, Virgo energy for me as a reader. Overall energy, the Emperor in reverse. Yeah, Hanged Man, Pisces energy. Wow. Okay, so some of you guys, Sagittarian energy, some of you guys are healers, but you're just healing. You're balancing. You're coming into balance. You're tempering your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your reactions. There's a bit of confusion here. You have a lot of options, Capricorn, but you are determined to close out and release some burdens because you know you can't continue in the status quo. You've made a lot of sacrifices. Some of you guys, you're in a karmic connection where you're thinking about leaving it, okay? Some of you guys may be dealing with somebody because that Knight of Wands didn't pop out by accident in the pre-shuffle. So some of you guys, you are dealing with somebody who's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or it's your energy, Okay, you're not so sure about a current connection or person or situation that you're dealing with. So we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like Capricorn, some of you guys might be a little bit worried if you've, you know, what I'm picking up on is like you might feel like you've been misled or somebody wasn't completely emotionally honest with you. You need to be careful of the stories people tell you. Okay, somebody may be coming in with an apology or making some sort of offer, but it's important that you look at the details because I do feel like there's a bit of passion here. It's somebody who likes to get their way, but I don't know that it's a balanced energy, that they're doing what's best for you and everybody else who's involved. So why is the Page of Cups here? Yep, Three of Swords, heartbreak, sadness, and the Six of Swords. Okay, so for some of you Capricorns, what I'm getting, it's a need to sort of look back at childhood. With the Three of Swords, for me, this is the original trine, the mother, the father, the child. So looking at your love language, how you learn to give and receive love. There may be something that happened in your childhood that needs to be looked at, that's creating an imbalance. You may have a tendency to call in Queen of Wands type energy. So it's like a volatile energy. It can be a feminine energy. It doesn't have to, but I am actually getting that you look at your maternal line. But with the Emperor as well, I'm seeing that it's something with childhood, your original love language, some sort of pain, heartbreak, or disappointment. You may need to find closure or healing from something from your past with one of your parents. Again, it could also be a relationship that you're dealing with. The Queen of Wands can be somebody who, it could be a partner. It could be somebody you're currently dealing with or in your past, somebody who wasn't loyal. Somebody who was, with this Page of Cups, somebody who wasn't quite ready for a committed relationship, but they might have painted that picture. Or they might have said, oh yeah, let's do this, I'm in. Maybe you even married this person. But they may have had other people on the side, or there was some sort of jealousy, some sort of ego issue that got in the way. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's volatile, somebody who's very self-centered, somebody who doesn't temper their emotions and their actions and their reactions. So you might have been always trying to sort of make up for them. I feel like this is maybe somebody that makes a scene out in public or in front of friends and family. Somebody that you have to, it's almost like you're taking care of this person or making excuses for them. And it somehow it goes back to your childhood. But Spirit's saying it's time to move on. You may be dealing with somebody whose emotional maturity is very low. Again, this could be a past person. It could be, a parent. But I feel like it's a repeating pattern in your relationships, or it's a particular connection. This person's really reactive. They don't think about the consequences of their actions or their reactions. It's somebody who just kind of says whatever they want. Yeah, Four of Wands and the Four of Swords. How you can move through this with grace and ease. Okay, so karmic justice is going to be served. You're finding balance, but you're also, I feel like Capricorn, you're taking your emotions out of it, because I feel like you've been dealing with somebody who's highly reactive. The Emperor in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse. And I think you've been pulled out of your loving presence, out of your balance, because this person just says what they want when they're, it's like adult temper tantrums is what I'm getting. I'm getting somebody who just says whatever, they do whatever. There's somebody who would flip a table at a restaurant type energy. And I feel like with the Four of Wands, you really do feel this could be your twin, or it could be somebody that you thought was your twin or your soulmate. But it's time to put things in perspective. I feel like you're pulling your energy back. Justice is about taking a good, cold, hard look at this person. For some of you, this person may have even been abusive towards you. Okay, and I'm really getting a female, and it may not be for all of you, but what they're showing me is they're showing me a strong masculine energy who unsuspectedly gets people, if it's a hetero, and it doesn't have to, these readings aren't gender specific, but the way that they're showing it to me is somebody who's a strong masculine energy who gets punched or slapped by a feminine energy or by a female, somebody who's much smaller than them. It's not going to be for all of you. Okay, but I'm getting here that it's also important that you wait. Things aren't going to happen very quickly. There's like a strategy of removing yourself from this situation. Again, for many of you, and I hope there's no violence in your situations, but this is somebody who's very highly reactive. So some of you guys, you're really strategizing about how to move away. Gosh, I really am seeing like, I'm just seeing, they're showing me some like really crazy scenarios here. For some of you, the authorities have been involved in this situation. This could also be what you witnessed growing up, is what they're showing me. But I'm getting with the Four of Wands in reverse, there's a lack of stability. You might be moving out, but you're also waiting. You're waiting. And with the Four of Swords, this is a card of inaction, not taking action, healing, just taking care of yourself. And the Justice card too is about weighing your options, balancing, coming into balance, because you've been dealing with somebody here who's really not balanced, Capricorn. So what are you learning? The Queen of Wands in reverse. You're learning about volatility. You're learning about tempering your actions and your emotions. The Star card in reverse. And the Five of Cups. What I feel like, Capricorn, I feel like for some of you, this could be like a maternal figure that you had to take care of. This person may have been like a heavy drinker, doesn't necessarily have to be. And again, it's not about shedding blame onto your parents or, you know, but it's about recognizing your story. And it could be something that repeats in your relationships, or maybe it's the relationship that you're in. But I feel like this Queen of Wands energy, this is somebody that you've been trying to heal, that you make excuses for. Somebody who, you know, they're showing me like, and it doesn't have to be this exact scenario, but like somebody who gets drunk and falls all over the place and breaks things and treats people poorly and, you know, offends people. And I feel like even as a child, you had to sort of, you know, you had to sort of say sorry for this person. Oh, it's a very sad story they're showing me. But I think what you're realizing, what you're learning, Capricorn, is that you can't be this person's savior. With the Star card in reverse. And the Five of Cups. There's a lot of sadness here, but it's time to shift your perspective to love and to your own personal balance. You temper your emotions, your actions. This person doesn't. But you can't just, you know, you can't be the one that's always cleaning up this person's messes. That's what I'm getting. And I think this is what you've been doing for a long time, whether it was something that happened during childhood or whether it's within this relationship or maybe both. Okay. What you're leaving behind is the Nine of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Nine of Swords. Wow, interesting. What I'm getting, Capricorn, is that there's a lot of guilt and shame associated with turning your back on this situation, because you feel like a genie. You feel like a fixer, like you're the one that has to make everything right. But what Spirit is saying, by closing out this cycle, it's going to help you avoid disaster by being on your own, by putting yourself first. And it's really, really a huge, huge lesson here, Capricorn. Venus and Virgo, put yourself first. Take care of yourself. You've been taking care of this person, whether it's energetically, whether it's, you know, I feel like for many of you, it's a parent in particular, maybe a mother. And then you've been repeating that cycle in your relationships, or maybe even it is the karma between you and your twin. But focusing on yourself, releasing guilt and shame is going to help you avoid disaster and get you out of this. Because the Nine of Swords in reverse is like a dark night of the soul coming to an end. But it also is like somebody isn't changing. Like this person isn't changing if you stay or if you don't. Like you need to shift your focus, because it's only bringing you heartbreak and you need to move on from that. And we see that in the Six of Swords. She's got her back to the Six of Swords, that heartbreak and that disappointment. For many of you, it goes back to your childhood, and it's a repeating pattern with your relationships. They just want me to sort of, they want me to highlight that in there. It's almost like it feels selfish for you to just focus on you, but you need to give yourself that permission, Capricorn. That permission to focus solely on you and your healing and your abundance. You deserve it. You do not have to take care of everyone. You do not have to take care of this person. I mean, obviously, if it's a dependent, but it's not turning your back on this person, Capricorn, by taking care of yourself. It's a scarcity complex mindset that if you focus on you, that means other people suffer or this person suffers. It's not true. And that's what is on its way in. You shifting your focus to you, to love, harmony, to balance. You deserve this. Yeah. Okay. This is something that, this is a deep, deep wounding, Capricorn. And for many of you, I know I've said it 100 times, it goes back to your childhood. And I feel like you've tried to walk away from this. For some of you guys, you're dealing with alcoholism or somebody that struggles with alcoholism. Remember here, no judgment. I think you've tried to walk away from this situation. I think you've tried to walk away from this type of person in the past, but you keep attracting the same sort of scenario, the same narrative, because the narrative has to change within, Capricorn. Some of you have a hard time disconnecting from the fact that, like, it's empowering because you feel good, you feel strong, you feel in your power that people rely on you. But it's also that reliance which is holding you back. And it's something I think that you were raised with or you've grown up with or that's in your past life karma, that you deal with people who are who allow themselves to, or who are emotionally volatile or out of control. And again, I get a lot of like drinking, could be substance abuse. It doesn't have to be, it can be excess. But you're used to being the fixer. You're used to being the anchor. And part of you, Capricorn, is what this Saturn and retrograde period is showing you is that if you're not the anchor, some of you have a fear of then what is my identity, and you haven't explored that because it's almost hard to decipher who am I if I'm not taking care of someone, if someone isn't relying on me, because that was put on you at a very, very early age. You're recognizing that. But you're shifting regardless. And it's like what I'm seeing here is this person or this type of person is going to keep coming back in. And it's like something that we can release 1,000 times, and we might have to release it 1,001 for it actually to take. For some of you guys, I do feel like it's a parent. And it's like you can't completely turn your back on this parent, but this is about you protecting your energy. It's about changing your narrative. You might feel like you're not making any headway or you're not making any growth with the High Priestess energy. But there's a lot happening, Capricorn, to help you heal and to help you move on. There's some deep wounding here, Capricorn. Moon, Pisces, Cancer energy, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, look at that. Things are shifting for you in a major way. Look, and we get Justice again, karma. Wow, Capricorn. You need to trust your intuition. You also need to trust that what might be happening in the 3D, if it feels like nothing's happening in the 3D, that doesn't mean that nothing's happening, that there's a lot shifting on a deep emotional level. The moon talks about being under the influence. I do pick up that you're dealing with somebody who's under the influence or has, you know, there could be, and I'm not a doctor, but it's somebody who could deal with mental health issues. The Wheel of Fortune, though, is telling me here, and we get 2 cards of Justice, Libra, 1111. Capricorn, there's time, whether you need to be physically alone or away from this person, these people. And for some of you, I do feel like it's like talking to somebody. There may be a need to talk to somebody like a professional, whether it's a healer, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a life coach. But what I'm seeing here is that there's a need for you to be on your own, to not be in the role of savior, protector, anchor, healer, genie for somebody, somebody's fixer. Because there are things within your own life that have been neglected. But in doing so, in pulling back and healing and focusing on yourself, avoiding disaster, you're calling in your true twin. You're balancing karma and doing this healing work. It may not be that you completely like rid yourself of these circumstances or of this person, but the wheel begins to turn in your favor. And this is you moving on. Additional messages, please, for Capricorn. I love you. Yeah. Some of you guys, you're dealing with a parent. Somebody who does have a lot of love for you. I replay our conversations over and over again. It doesn't have to be a parent, though. It could be somebody just, it could be the relationship that you're in. It's time for me to heal now. That's your energy. Capricorn, that's your higher self. It's time for you to heal now. And sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Yeah, it's a very, very strong connection. I'm becoming a better person. Yeah, for some of you guys, this is a parent. I know that's it's sort of a weird reading, but it's a parent who may be getting sober. It's a parent who's looking at your childhood. For some of you, it's a partner. It's going to be hard for them to release you. There's a lot that's still hidden. I think there's some guilt and there's some shame here, Capricorn, and focusing on yourself. So you think about what you could have said or what you could have done differently to either save this person, save this connection, to change things, because I think you have a lot of love here. But it's time for you to heal now. It's time for you to focus on yourself. There's too much instability. And what you need right now is groundedness, stability, support. And until you shift your focus, Capricorn, what they're showing me here is you're going to still continue to attract either people who are emotionally unavailable, or people who struggle with addiction, or people who need you to fix them or fix their situation. And that's the karma that's playing out for you that needs to be healed and cleared in order for you to come into union, not only with your divine purpose and your soul path, but also with your divine counterpart. We get Radha, soul flame, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. Yeah, for many of you guys, this does go back to a childhood trauma. Again, it could be past life karma as well. And cloak of wisdom, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. You are rediscovering a lost part of yourself. Either you're doing soul retrieval from past life or from childhood. That just keeps coming through. In doing so, it's going to heal this connection. Either if you're in a twin flame journey, if you're in a twin flame connection and you guys are in separation, doing this work is going to bring you guys together. If I'm picking up on, a lot of you are dealing with a karmic situation that needs to be resolved. Avoid disaster. Release the overthinking. Focus on your own healing. That's going to sort of turn on your heart light and call in your true divine counterpart. You have a lot of wisdom, Capricorn, but there's something that you weren't looking at, some sort of heartbreak or wound that you haven't been able to move on from. That's been sort of right in front of you, but it's also what's been energetically blocking you. So trust what you know and trust your guidance. Oof. These readings have been intense, and I knew they were going to be particularly intense for my Capricorns because you guys are Saturnian. You're ruled by Saturn, so Saturn retrograding is definitely going to bring up issues, and you're going to feel them very deeply. But it's like this dark night of the soul. This healing is going to take place, and it's going to bring harmony and healing to you and your relationships. You guys get Crossroad of Destiny, the Goddess Hecate and Micah. 42 breaks down to a 6. Sixes are about balance. They're about harmony. They're very Venusian energy. And Hecate is one of my very personal favorite energies to work with. So I'm going to read from the book. This is Alana Fairchild's Crystal Mandala Oracle. There is a certain comfort in familiarity. The world you have been living in has some sort of boundary, some degree of predictability, and certain things, people, or situations you can rely upon to behave in particular ways. These familiarities can be a way you choose to feel secure, even if you know deep within that life is always evolving, and so are you, and that things need to change to stay fresh, healthy, and inspired. The truth is that familiarity doesn't really create security. Your mind may like to think it does, but this is an illusion. All things change in time. That is a natural law. What you and your mind need to remember is that you can choose to feel secure even though changing circumstances that lead you towards an unknown world. That unknown world will eventually become known to you, with its own boundaries and some degree of predictability and familiarity. And that's what we're seeing here, because we see all of this unknown. This is the medicine, Capricorn, that you need to hear. I'm going to repeat that. You need to remember that you can choose to feel secure even though changing circumstances lead you towards an unknown world. That unknown world will eventually become known to you, with its own boundaries and some degree of predictability and familiarity, until again, change knocks at your door or kicks it down. And you are facing another crossroad in your life, needing to make decisions that will affect your future. The security you can feel in this process comes from knowing that this is not random, though it might seem that way at the time. Destiny is not simply a destination. It's a living process that will cause growth and evolution in you as you shed that which no longer serves your soul and open up to receive that which does. You may wish to understand all the possible ramifications of your decisions, all possible outcomes, and then make a clear logical choice as to what will serve you best. Although you can rely on logic and analysis, and perhaps you wish to start there if you're so inclined, it is through listening to your heart, the inner knowing and voice of intuition within, that will bring you the most joyful experience. You can either play it safe or play it true. The heart will guide you to truth. The choice might scare you at first, or you might feel excited about what you feel your heart is asking you to do. Your mind may not understand and therefore create doubt, but the heart has its own wise genius beyond compare. It is the vehicle through which the divine plan is felt, and it is your flawless inner compass. Yes, and look at that. Double confirmation here of intuition. Trusting your intuition. That is what's bringing this beautiful cosmic change into your life, this healing, harmony, and balance. It's bringing you love, Capricorn. All right, I'm going to leave it there. If this is where we part, for those of you who would like to stay for the healing activation incantation, I'm just going to ask that you take a moment to focus on the candle. Sit up straight wherever you are. Take a deep breath. You can either repeat after me in your head or out loud. I choose of my own free will, through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being, to release any experience and associated belief system based on fear of hearing and acting in my heart guidance. I trust in the divine plan for me as it shows itself in the crossroad of destiny in my life. Through divine empowerment and unconditional love, so be it. May divine love bring recognition of the wisdom of the heart into collective human awareness. May any fear of respecting and honoring the heart wisdom be released through divine meaningful healing. According to divine grace, unconditional love, and in service to the divine feminine wisdom evolving through humanity at this time, so be it. My flawless heart guides me through the crossroad of destiny into shining new life. Wow, Capricorn. Not always easy messages, but there's something so beautiful in doing the work that you're doing. Sending you lots of love and light. Take care.